sure gotta put this back on here about TDH, Tennessee Deer Hunter. That is so
There
cool.
you are. You have a mouthful on that page right there.
I know.
I'd have to stop and take a break.
I tell you what I thought about then. I thought about reading one half of it and then handing it to you. I'm serious.
I don't mind. It's a mouthful.
I may do it.
Okay.
I may do it. I'll read this first half and give it to you. You do that first, then I'll do this, and then you finish up.
Okay, the quick sponsorship. Okay.
Yeah, you do that first, I'll do this, and then you do this half.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. We got about 10 seconds.
Y'all bear with me because my stronger glasses are in my work truck. I didn't work today. I was off.
We've been doing all day food plot.
I've been spraying all day.
I hear you. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony Landreth.
I'm Keith Haywood.
Hey, we want to welcome y'all to another Tennessee Outside Show coming to you live from the Dr. R.E. Wilhite building right here at the Hardin County Agribusiness Center in Bolivar, Tennessee. As we always say, if you hunt and fish in Tennessee, this is the show that you need to watch. That's for sure. Hey, I know some of y'all don't see Bubba up here. Bubba's having to, I think, give a speech at UT Martin tonight, so he's tied up with that. Parrish is tied up building. He said the custom turkey calls, Keith, have just, the order has come in. It's unreal.
The one I got in the truck tonight.
Oh,
Pretty nice.
I know. And I think he said he had like, if I may be wrong, 200 come in the other day, orders for custom calls.
I don't know how long it takes to build a call.
Yeah, because, I mean, everybody wants them different ways, you know, the skull cans, the pictures, you know, the laser, you know, like your wildlife addiction food plot, you know, he laser engraves that. Our Tennessee Outside pot call that we give away. I mean, those things are awesome.
They are. They truly are. And mine will never be used.
Yeah, mine
Now,
neither.
the care package we got now, those are going to be.
Oh, yeah, I guarantee you. Matter of fact, I used one that was from the care package the other day, but we'll talk about that in just a minute.
Sounds good.
Hey, we will be taking questions tonight, and so if you got any questions, send them in. We're going to be talking a lot about fishing, food plots, the youth turkey hunt. That seems to be the biggest thing, but I don't know. And then I got something happened this morning that just tickles me too, you know, and we're going to discuss that. But just let's go. But like I say, if you got any questions, send them in. We don't know what we're going to be giving away next, but all these questions and comment, they're going out of stockpile. We're going to come up with something else good to give away for long. All right, Keith.
We give a quick sponsor recognition here. All right, we have Apex Outdoor Rewards. That's our premier sponsor. Deception Sense, Baker Glass Shop, Second Amendment Outdoors, Big Hill Pond Boat Sales and Repair, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, Lynnhurst Family Resort, Prym1 Camo, Threeway Processing, and Wildlife Addiction Food Plot Services. And also, as always, a shout out to Brian Harford and the Crappie Addicts Facebook page.
Yep. Hey, before I read this next list of all the Facebook groups that let us share their page, some of y'all probably realized today that the original Tennessee Deer Hunter Facebook group with over 70,000 members, I don't know what happened, but I'm glad they did it, but Facebook reinstated the page, and it went right back up and running.
I don't know what happened to it.
I don't. Well, I don't.
We're live on there now too.
Do I?
We're live.
Yeah, I know, and yes, we are live on the original Tennessee Deer Hunter page. You know, I know at one time. I know right now it shows we got 71,000 members, and I mean I'm a moderator on there with a bunch of awesome people, and to me that's one of the best run pages on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I mean, it kind of shocked a lot of people, you know, nationwide when that got took down.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd love to know why. You know, I know that like the TikTok stuff is real funny about stuff you can put on there. So I don't understand. And
yeah, I know, because I mean they take duck stuff down all the time, but yet there's other people's stuff that they leave up there all the time. That's
right.
You know.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, you know, that's one thing. So we are live on Tennessee Deer Hunter. So West Stone, you know, I know he was tickled. Mike Adams, he's the one. He posted it on our moderator group text page on Messenger this morning, and I was shocked. And then, you know, Wes made a post about it. But Tennessee Deer Hunters, West Ten Deer Hunters, Tennessee Woods and Waters, Tennessee Turkey Hunters, Tennessee Bow Hunters, Tennessee Valley Sportsmen, Real West Tennessee Sportsmen, East Tennessee Deer Hunters, Tennessee Rivers and Lakes, Bow Hunters of America, the biggest group, over 200,000 members, True Hunters and Anglers, my buddy Rob Pachork down in Mississippi, Southern Boys 870, Hunting for Connections up in Wisconsin, Dana Sasha, Tennessee Outdoor Info, Tennessee Hunting and Fishing Report, Hunt Swaps of America, Tennessee Outdoors Hunting, and Tennessee Small Game Hunting and Fishing, and Middle Tennessee Coyote Hunters. And Keith, I'll let you read the other half of it.
Well, so that's a mouthful, isn't it? That's a lot of groups. Kentucky Whitetail Hunters, established in 2015. West Kentucky Deer Hunters, Do a Country Jig, Pickwick Lake Anglers, Crappie Cats, Bass and More, Gamekeepers and Food Plots, Pickwick Lake Fishing Reports, Turkey South, Backwood Hunting and Fishing, Wildlife Hunter Association, Wildlife Snipers, Feathers and Fur, Camo Thug Outdoors, Bluntville, Tennessee Deer Hunters, let me see, Back to the Roots Outdoors, Down to Earth Hunting, Tennessee Turkey Hunters, Hatchie River Fishing, and what is this right here?
Hatchie River Bank Poles.
Hatchie River, okay, Bank Poles.
Yeah, that's a group.
Yeah.
And you know, Keith, all those groups, you know, it's about 1.4, 1.5 million people.
Is it really?
It sure is.
Well, I hope everybody's tuning in to catch some shows or give us some advice or whatever. You know, it's always good to get some advice too.
And then hopefully we can go live on YouTube before long.
I hope so.
I think Janet, our producer, is working on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just tickled to be glad live on back on Tennessee Deer Hunters now.
That is, yes, 71,000.
There's 71,000 members in it right now, and I can't tell you how many member requests to join come in today.
That is amazing.
It is.
I had no idea it was that big.
Yes.
I was a member and I had been a member, but I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, because we've been offline for over a year, it seems like. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's good to be back. But, you know, the one thing right now I want to talk about is the, you know, everybody, this was the best youth turkey hunt I've ever seen. I had an awesome hunt. It was 2 long days.
Yeah.
And ended up, Tucker Smalley, was on one of your farms that you let us hunt. And I'll tell you, it was 6:48 when he pulled the trigger of that Sunday afternoon. Legal shooting time was at 7:23 that day.
Wow.
Because you got to quit.
You're talking about last few minutes now.
Yes. Because, you know, turkey hunting is, you don't get that 30 minutes after legal sunset. Right. It's sunset. Kind of like duck hunting. Yeah. Sunset's it. But
so day one, y'all heard some birds early.
We heard some birds early, and that was it. Mm-hmm. Nothing else. And but then day 2, we had 2 that come out on the left, and of course around that corner we couldn't see them.
Right.
But I knew they was in the field. They couldn't have been 125 yards. I don't know if they saw that pretty boy strutting decoy, but they shut up. Never another word. Of course, it was cloudy, and no birds gobbling nowhere. Mm-hmm. And then about 1 o'clock, the sun started coming out, and I called with the new Deception MK call. I mean, it's kind of a good economy call, you know.
Right.
And it's not the higher end, but, you know, Paris sent it to us, said, try it out. And so I did, and a hen started yelping, and she come right in the decoy, come right to that pretty boy. And we had 4 hens out there and him.
Yeah.
And, of course, she walked around him a couple times, and she just walked on off. And then at 5:30, we heard this bird gobble about 200 yards straight down to the left. And I figured he was down on the other side of that big, deep ravine you was telling us about.
Yeah.
For the next hour, I could make him gobble every time. Plus, he'd gobble on his own. He never moved. He stayed in that spot. Mm-hmm. So at probably about 6:35, I guess it was, I told Courtney, I said, look, I'm going to make a series of yelps out the window. And she crawled out on your ladder.
Yeah.
And I said, when I get through, every time you gobble with that gobble tube. And she did. Mm-hmm. And she did it twice. And then when she quit the second time, that bird triple gobbled as fast as he could. And I told them, I said, I bet you he's coming. And it wasn't about 8 or 9 minutes later, I looked up, and he come out of that little peninsula, 85 yards. Mm-hmm. And he saw that pretty boy decoy, and he come running in. And I was afraid Tucker he was going to kind of froze up there at first because I done told him 3 times to shoot it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the exact words. But and I said, why don't you want to shoot it? He said, I'm afraid I'll miss. I said, well, you sure ain't gonna hit him if you don't shoot.
That's right.
And so he was in strut too. Got it all on film. It'll be on the Hunt Channel here.
Yeah.
I don't know what show it's gonna be, but all of our shows are going on the Hunt Channel starting last week of June.
That's right.
And he come around from the backside of that decoy as soon as he got past the fan, and Tucker shot him, and he started flopping. I said, put another shell in him. I don't want to go chase no bird.
Yeah.
And speaking of chasing a bird, I saw where somebody wrote, they shot one, went out there and looked at it, and went back to get their stuff, and the bird started flopping, got up and left. And that's got to be heartbreaking right there.
It have to be. Courtney didn't get excited, did she?
Oh, gosh.
Did she cry?
Yes, she cried. I got it on film, too.
Girl.
Cried, hollered, and screamed, and everything else. Yeah. Of course, I'm not going to lie. I was pretty excited, too.
To see the little ones get out there and get all fired up about it.
Oh, yeah.
God, that's what it's
and plus, that's the biggest bird I ever called up. Weighed 24.96 pounds on the Apex turkey tool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I've called up 23-pound birds and killed them 22, but never one that close to 25. Had one spur was 1.1 inch, just like a razor, and one was 1.16 inch, 9.5 inch beard.
That's great.
So I mean, it was good, but by the time I got tickled, he said, we had all the stuff packed out, and he said, well, can't we drive back here and get them? I said, no, we got to walk all the way up down them big hills to get back to the truck.
Were they pretty muddy? I know they were.
Yeah, they were.
After that storm, that rain and
stuff. Yeah, they were very muddy. Yeah. Because it was just about, you're skiing down right there at the start.
Oh, yeah.
Because he tried to tote the bird out when we was leaving, and he couldn't do it. So Courtney grabbed it, and then when we got that, of course, I had the big bag of decoys, a chair, but when we got to the bottom of the hill, I said, all right, throw it on my shoulder. I'll carry it uphill.
Well, I knew he carried it some because I had him on trail cam.
Yeah, I know.
And that's a really cool picture of him on the trail cam.
Yeah.
So I know I sent that to all y'all. Maybe she can keep. That'd be a cool one to kind of. I know it'll look kind of pixeled out or whatever, but it'd be cool.
It is, but you can still tell exactly what it is. But congratulations to all the youth, because we broke a record and almost doubled it.
I was looking at those numbers.
Yeah, up 84% from last year.
That is tremendous.
And my hat's off to all. I couldn't believe. Of course, it's 2 bird limit this year, but it's a lot of the youngsters. They're tagged out already.
Yeah.
I bet their dads are probably glad they're tagged out too.
But looking at these numbers, and either it's either I don't know. Hopefully, it's just a lot more dads getting their kids out there and getting them involved.
I think it's a combination of a lot, Keith. I think some of it, season open 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Some of the birds they're busted up from the winter flocks more than they normally would be at the end of March. But I don't know. We'll have to see what it holds, because it was a lot of birds, and it was almost exactly 1/3 were jakes, but 2/3 were longbeards. So that's good.
That is real good.
A
lot of excited kids, a lot of good hunters.
It sure was. But
keep them out there.
I know you've been swamped. How's your food plot coming?
It is coming.
Or I say food plot. Your food plot business.
Food plot, I'm about as booked as I could possibly get. I wasn't here last week due to the tornado that happened in Tipton County. And
my hat's off to all of y'all for the job y'all did.
I appreciate that. I think we had, we're roughly 52,000 customers, and I think we had about 21,000 customers out.
Yeah.
But we ended up with about 225 linemen from different co-ops, and people come in and help, and just, continue prayers for the families in any county or any state that got hit by that tornado, because it was a pretty devastating. I talked to the sheriff over there, and it was the tornado itself was 3.66 miles wide, and then the debris equaled to be a 5-foot wide debris, actual
5 mile.
5 mile wide total.
Yeah,
that was actually doing damage.
Well, I know you said in the pre-show meeting that there's how many telephone poles y'all don't even know where they're at. They're just gone.
Just gone. There were some poles that we just don't even know where they are. You're talking about 40, 45 foot poles, and don't even know where they are.
Probably just laying in the forest somewhere or something.
Could be right there on the Hatchie Bottom. We found mail from Wynne, Arkansas. There was one fatality in Tipton County, and I want to say it was 23 injured, but all in all, it was just, it was terrible. I can't even explain it, really. It was.
McNair County had 9 fatalities, and I just hate that. And I, our buddy JR, I was talking to him. He said that there was a 30-foot cargo container trailer that was gone from this guy's property, and I ain't talked to him since, but I just wonder if they found that thing.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a Midway store there. It was just completely just destroyed, and there was one of those little, like a smoke shack, kind of those little drive-through tobacco stores.
Yeah. They
hadn't found it the whole time I was there for 7 days. Gone. Don't know where this thing went. But anyway, back to the food plots. I got a little behind because of the weather, and so right now I'm in the process of spraying, getting ready to start. We're going to try to start getting some sunflower in over the next, probably the weekend after next, start getting our sunflowers in, start putting our beans in May.
What about you, corn? Anybody planting corn right now?
I'm not. Well, I'm not. I saw some actual farmers planting some corn when I was on the way over here, but I typically wait just a little bit later. We're not trying to harvest.
Oh, I know.
We're planting to hunt over.
Yeah, my field never would get dry enough till sometime.
That's right. We can wait till June.
It'd be June, yes.
We can really wait till June on corn, whether it's for ducks or for deer or whatever.
Because most of that, 90 to 110?
Yeah, and there are some 75 day corn out there too.
Yeah, I normally always I think mine the most was 110,
But we also have a lot of plots out there right now that like mine are still, and yours probably too, and C-Jacks, they're green right now.
Yes.
And a lot of
the clover is really jumping.
That's right. You're going to have some clover, and you're going to have some grasses that are going to grow. And so right now is a good time to maybe throw a little straight nitrogen to it, green it up a little bit, sweeten it up a little bit.
What would you recommend? Like I know for clover, I've always done 0-20-20.
That's perfect because clover produces nitrogen.
It makes its own nitrogen.
It makes its own nitrogen, and it's funny because we were going to talk about some things, and if there's anybody on here that's doing their own food plots or researching their own food plots, I watched this study done by a farmer in Arkansas, and it was a very intense study on the P&K, which is the phosphorus and potash or potassium. The nitrogen was getting to that 4.5 inch level, where the P&K 2 inches was the best they were getting. And this was just laying straight on top of the ground.
Yeah.
So if you want to work that ground in, if you're trying to do a food plot this spring, and you're just broadcasting your fertilizer and you're not working it in, where I do some no-till. I run mine straight through my no-till drills, and I put it right in there with the seed. You want to go to a liquid fertilizer. It was a pretty cool study. They were losing about 50% of their P&K at an inch, and then by the time they got to the bottom of 2 inches, there was nothing. So you're talking about even the things like earthworms.
Yeah.
They're going to kind of hang out in that area, that 1 and 2 inch area. They're not going to crawl back down into that 4 inch root area and poop and all that stuff.
Right.
So the ground's not very fertile there. So that's why we want to give that till. But when you start looking at doing tillage also, a lot of people want to till 5. They want to till as deep as that tiller will go. And that's a really bad idea, because then we start fighting weeds really bad. We start fighting that dormant seed that's 4 or 5 inches down. It rolls up, gets sunlight, germinates, and then we have a weed problem. So it's kind of a happy medium. I don't like to till any deeper than 3 inches. So I always spread and fertilize. I do a soil test first. Right. All I care about in my soil test is the pH. I just want my pH to be, most of the plots that you grow, anywhere from really about 6.3 to 7, they're gonna, or 7.2, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna grow great. So the pH is really all I'm concerned about.
So if your pH is too low, what are you supposed to add?
If it's too low, if it's acidic, you want to add lime.
Right.
That's what you want to add. You want to add lime. Because all lime is doing is it's making your fertilize. It's allowing your fertilize to do its job for the plant roots.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it's there for.
Because I know if you got a plot that winds up turning into sage grass all the time, I know that's what needs lime, right?
It needs lime.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. You're going to fight acidic ground a whole lot more than you are anything else. That's where it's going to be. You get down to that 4 range, and you really, and then you start looking at pelletized lime. You start looking at ag lime, the difference between the two. So I usually run about 200 pounds of pelletized lime per ton of ag lime needed, just because of the size.
And that's what I do. I put pelletized on mine.
And that's what I do also.
I mean, my plot, about 1.1 acre. You was up there.
That's right.
You did it. Because I know you can see the wheat coming up in the rows now.
That's right.
But the clover is really taking off right now too.
Yeah, we could get so deep into this that it'd be a whole show. Really.
What for people that wants to plant a lot of clover, which I like to plant clover in the fall. I say fall. We normally do our plots end August to September 10th. But then when that clover is coming up like right now, I'm telling you, it's like a buffet for turkeys.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it is. It's and then you have, how tall is your clover right now? Is it still pretty short because it hadn't been warm enough to?
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna say, you got the wheat. Some of it might be.
That's right.
8-10 inches.
That's right.
But the clover where the deer, because deer are eating it out.
Oh yeah.
It's first year in about 8 years. I don't have it. I ain't even seen a hen up there.
No kidding.
No, and I don't know where they are, but I did see one. My buddy Josh Pulse. I saw 2 in his field the other day, and I saw 2 hens in there about 2 months ago. And normally I'll see them there before I wheel at my place, but I hadn't seen a single bird on me this year.
That's surprising too.
It is, but I hadn't seen a male turkey in the last 3 years either. No.
Well,
But yet I have poults every year at the end of June, 1st of July, so I know there was a male turkey somewhere around there.
Yeah. Well, if anybody has any questions about the plots or about fertilizer or what they need to do, holler at us. Get with you, get with myself. We'll help them out.
Do you have a list of people right now that has already booked you all the way through? All the way through the fall. Yeah,
all the way through the fall.
Because I know Bubba told me to remind you. He wants on the list the next time you're out his way.
That's right. I'm trying to. I had to get my obligation stuff done I had to get my spraying done. That had to be taken care of, and of course Bubba's.
Right.
Next Friday, I should be caught up on all my spraying. That's going to give me a couple weeks before I start planting any sunflowers. So I'll be able to take care of Bubba. But look, any questions, please don't hesitate. I've got a guy from New Jersey that we message back and forth. It seems like 3 or 4 times a month over food plots and what they need to do. They've had some tests done. And so, at the end of the day, you can almost talk to 10 people and we get 10 different answers about some of this stuff.
Right.
I do what works for me.
I
do what's worked for me. It's been what I call bought lessons. I have made some mistakes. I learned from them. I've moved on. I did more research. And some of it's pretty simple and some of it still makes me scratch my head just a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're still doing everything we can to get the soil right. We're doing everything possible to plant that seed and get it to grow. But at the end of the day, we're still just planting a seed. We still have, good Lord and Mother Nature. We gotta depend on them. So,
well, I know, we pretty much plant the same thing every year: awnless wheat, daikon radishes, arrowleaf, crimson clover. And of course, we had it. You put it in for us.
That's right.
But and those plots, they look great. Deer used them all year long. Of course, C-Jack. Of course, he's hunting a zoo, so it don't matter.
Well, yeah.
They're just, annihilating all of his stuff. Yeah. Roger, Duck. I noticed Duck sent me a picture yesterday, or maybe today, and I said, the boys are back in town.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Even on my plots where my cameras are, the deer they're hammering.
Oh, yeah. I think we saw 6 bucks one morning down there.
Yeah.
In yours, because your plot on the far right, I know you got test plots all around.
All my test plots were out there.
And every deer we saw worked that area down there.
That's the one they go to.
Yeah.
That was their favorite, and that one's been that particular blend for me. Now y'all have a great mix.
And it's just easy to do, you know.
But that particular seed company and that particular blend for the last 3 years or so, I run test plots against it every year, and it's just hands down the best. It's fairly simple to grow,
That's right. I know Bubba and Roger, they they started using, I think last year was their second year, that Balanza clover.
That's right.
And I mean, and I planted some too, but it just, I don't know. I think, I'm going to need to do a, soil test on mine.
That's right.
Because I know it's lacking something, but.
Well, that arrowleaf clover it's hard to beat.
I'm going to tell you what.
Favoring wise from a deer and the wildlife, it's hard.
The thing about the arrowleaf to me, the arrowleaf, it holds bucks better than any food plot I've ever seen. Now, yeah, it may be after season's over, but if you suck bucks in and they're there this time of year and they stay till July,
right,
then a lot of them won't go back home.
That's right.
They're going to stay there.
They're going to stay. And that brings up something else. I know we're getting close to our break, but we start talking about mainly all around land management. For the people out there that don't have access to the equipment or that just, don't have a farm that the owner or the farmer leaves any room or allows them to do any plots. So,
or they may just not have time.
So just let's talk about a farm real quick that is a set aside, because we have a lot of that. We have a lot of set aside, a lot of families do that. So we're not getting any green growth other than our browse. So generally, on a farm that does not have any agriculture on it, you're looking at about 7 to 10% proteins. About the best they're going. That's about the best they're going to get.
Yeah.
When all the browse is out.
Yeah, and you can tell the farms that it's overbrowsed.
It's overbrowsed, and then you've got your farms that do have farmers and they plant beans, and so your protein level then goes from, let's just give it the high side and say it's 10%. It's really only going to about 13 then, just because it's a harvest bean. If they're doing beans versus a forage bean, there's a big difference in the two, how they grow.
Yeah, we was talking about that.
Yeah, how the pods hold the seed through the season and through the winter. And then adding your green to it later in the fall. But it's Mother Nature does a really good job for, like right now, everything's greening up. We have the browse. Then we go into the ag season, and we have that fresh growth of ag if you have it. Then you go into fall, and the stuff's harvested. Then you start getting into your soft mass. All of a sudden, it develops.
Yeah.
And then we get into our hard mass.
Right.
But then after that, we have that critical several months there where there's really nothing there for them.
Yeah.
Where those of us that have plots like you and I do, these deer are getting to eat and turkey are getting to eat, and they're getting that nutrition.
Talking about hard mass, the way this year has gone so far. Man, it seems like it could be a potential for a whole lot of it.
It does.
Now, it was in the upper 30s here this morning, but it didn't frost because I was out listening for turkeys, and I mean, it was.
I have a couple big white oaks that I actually fertilize.
Yeah.
And
they
do so much better. I mean, look, go to the drip line. If you have a couple white oaks that and you've been hunting year after year, go to your drip line, put you some fertilizer out.
Yep, that's for sure.
But once again, we could have a whole show just simply on food plots and seed and soil samples and what to do and how to do it.
And I know sometime in August we sure enough going to have one.
We need to have one in August because I typically try to start planting my personal stuff, about like you. I like to start late August.
I like, if somebody asks me dates, I go through, I like, of course, the army worms can throw a wrench in it.
They can.
In the last couple of years, they kind of throw a little wrench. Yeah. But I typically August 28th to September 10th. That's normally when I like to do mine.
That's right.
And but a lot of people do them later. But if you get the rain in that time frame, I don't care. You will be way above the people that plant it. The end of September.
Absolutely.
Especially on your brassica type stuff.
No doubt about it.
I mean,
old farmers say, that late August, early September, plant in the dust. It's going to happen. It's going to be a dusty mess, but it's you're going to get those rains you need.
Yeah. Hey, let's go ahead and knock this out. We got several questions, and I know we got a whole nother bunch of stuff that we didn't even talk about. Hey, Apex Outdoor Rewards, the Spring Turkey Challenge is going on right now. They reduced the entry fee from $125 to $75. Your first time entry, you'll get this turkey tool. We used it the other day. It's got a scale on it. Can be used as a toter also. You can just fold it up. But it's also got a ruler on here where you can measure. It goes from 0 to 15 inches. Measure the beard, the spurs. You get the weight. And for the Apex Challenge, it goes by the same NWTF scoring system. 1 times the weight, 2 times the beard, 10 times the spurs.
And y'all use that for all your measurements on
Tucker's spur? We sure did. He had 1 spur 1.8", 1 1.16".
Yeah, that's awesome.
9.5 inch beard, and it weighed 24.96 pounds. So, I mean, like I say, it's the biggest bird I ever called in as far as weight goes. Hey, and Apex, they are, you know, they're going live. I had a guy, buddy of mine, Paul Klutz. I think he's in Pike County, and he wanted to know about that because he entered it up there. Mm-hmm. But it's Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. But you can go to apexoutdoorrewards.com to sign up. Deception Scent, like I say, I mean, you see their bottles up here. They have a complete line of scent eliminating products: Pure Marine, Deception Scent, Pure RV, Pure 100. They have fast gas in every versions, and you know if you got a car and it's got a funky smell in it,
I guarantee it.
You
or
put
a dog or a cow
right,
or whatever.
You put the fast gas in it, it's gone, and it will stay gone unless you reintroduce that funk back in it.
That's right.
It sure will. You know, Paris, like I say, he is so busy building these custom turkey calls is unreal. Yeah, they have deer calls, duck calls, but Bill Dance, he is right on line with the Pure Marine. Chris Jack and I made a show with Jesse Dance Man Brooks a couple of weeks ago talking about Pure Marine. But you can get it on Amazon. You order it off Deception Scents. On the internet from them, and I know Shields is carrying it. Mm-hmm. A lot of Walmart's carrying the Pure Marine. I mean, I think it's in 2,000 Walmarts right now, but you can go there and get it.
Maybe we'll get all the products. Maybe they'll have all the products in Walmart by
the
season this
they're
year.
kind of working on some of that. They sure are.
That's good.
Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Go to www.tnwildlife.org for information, and be sure to follow TWRA on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I know they're catching a whole lot of flack about their turkey seasons, but TWRA, I mean, we got to have them. If we didn't, we wouldn't have no critters to hunt. No way. There'd be so many outlaws, including me. Threeway Processing, David Tyndall. You've talked to him anymore since you and I talked. Yeah. We hit him up the same day.
Yeah.
But, you know, he thinks he's found a place. He was supposed to meet with the Madison County Zoning Commission and just to finalize everything or see exactly what it's going to be. But if he does, he will come on the show and talk about all that, and I'm looking forward to David.
He definitely didn't want to come on until he knew,
and I don't blame him.
For sure that he had something like that.
Because what his hopes are is going to be good for everybody.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Well, he didn't want to just bring his pretty face on here for nothing.
I hear you. All right, go ahead.
All right, we have Baker Glass Shop. Stop by and see Corey Madden for all your glass needs. Auto, big trucks, heavy machinery. Contact Corey at 731-658-4510. He's located at 321 East Market Street here in Bolivar, Tennessee. Second Amendment Outdoors, your one-stop shopping for all your outdoor needs. Guns, ammo, fishing tackle, clothes, boots, and much more. Mark Austin and his great staff will take good care of you. Call Mark at 662-594-8687. And he's located at 2804A Highway 72 West in Corinth, Mississippi. We have Big Hill Pond Boat Sales and Repair. That's a mouthful in song right there.
Yeah.
Go see Kenny Fortune for all your boating needs, sales, and repair. He also has firearms and fishing tackle. Contact Kenny at 731. Did I already do this one? I didn't do that one, did I? I'm sorry. Contact Kenny at 731-645-4384. And he's located at 9282 Highway 57 in Raymer, Tennessee.
Hey, and as hot as the fishing is right now, if your boat isn't already ready, you better get it down there. You're going to miss out a lot of stuff because a lot of crappie spawned out already. But you can still catch them, I can tell you that.
You ready to go?
Yep.
All right, Lynnhurst Family Resort. Lynnhurst is located on the Blood River and inlet of Kentucky Lake. You can stay in one of their cabins, condos, in the motel, or at one of their campsites. They also have pontoons, jet skis, and golf cart rentals. Book by calling Dennis Helmuth at 270-436-2345 or 606-341-3399. Then we have Prym1 Camo, the ultimate concealment solutions for the outdoorsman and woman that need to blend into their surroundings. Go to prym1camo.com and check out all their products. Their 20% off code is HERO1. Then you have Wildlife Addiction Food Plot Services. That's myself. You can reach me at 731-780-4868 or 731-780-6426.
Or just write it in the comments
Or
on this, because
that's right.
That's what we spent a lot of the first half of the show talking
That's
about.
exactly
Everything
right.
you do.
So look, just reach out to myself or Anthony. We can do some farm consult for you. If you picked up a new farm and you just need a little advice on it, give us a call. Let's come down there and check it out for you.
Yeah.
Be happy to help.
I mean, especially, if some of the doctors and lawyers is too busy doing stuff.
Absolutely.
Because I know I do a lot of that. And, you go to their farms and, I mean, I've even told them exactly where to hang a stand, and they kill some good deer in it. But I mean, that's just kind of stuff that we do.
That's what we do. I mean, it's we study it.
Put out cameras and go back and check them. Whatever the person wants.
That's it. That's exactly.
Because I know I'm doing some right now that and I'll give him a report and send him pictures of every buck and every gobbler he's got on there. Trespassers, predators, whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
our producer's always eating while we're up here working. Have you noticed that?
I know, always.
Never offers anything.
What?
I knew she was going to miss that.
Dipping that bag.
All right, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, hey, I'm going to jump on somebody's question. And this is a good Pete Boyd, because Pete, the question you asked, I thought the same thing. Is it too late to use a fanned-out gobbler decoy? I used him opening day in the past, but now that we're 2 weeks behind. Pete, I thought the same thing. And I was hesitant about putting one out the other day, and I do believe it probably scared those first two off. But this big boy that come in, he wasn't scared. He come right to it, started strutting. He didn't attack it, but he went right to it, and then he goes in full strut, and he starts prancing around him.
Put on the show.
Yes. So, normally I don't use them after the first 10 days of the season. But, I mean, it hadn't been any pressure put on them other than the few that's been poached. And I was looking on the other day on the harvest report. 7 had been killed before even the youth hunt. But that's pretty common. I'm sure they probably got a visit.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything. I was trying to add all that up in my head, and it didn't add up right.
Yeah, I know. I think it was one in West Tennessee, and the rest of them was in Middle and East Tennessee. But I do know it was 7 taken before the youth hunt ever started. And here's one from Robert Teal out in Oklahoma. What causes Tom to have multiple beards and for hens to have a beard? The actual cause on it, I have no idea. I've killed a double bearded that had 2 full beards. I've killed a triple beard and a quadruple beard with my bow. And I know Tennessee has killed a lot of bearded hens this year already. We just this weekend, 25 bearded hens, up 127% from last year, because it was only 11 of them killed. And I don't know if this is true, but I've always heard that a bearded hen is liable to throw off multiple bearded gobblers. I don't know if that's true or not, but we have a lot of multiple bearded birds around here. Yeah. I do know that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. I mean, I know a guy that killed a bearded hen, had an 11-inch beard, on the farm that we used to have. With 11-inch beard, yeah.
Wow.
The biggest I've ever got on camera is probably a 9.5-inch bearded hen. But I've had as many as 8 bearded hens in one group out in the field with me at one time.
Wow.
8 bearded hens, and I thought, holy crap. But I don't know the exact cause of why they do that. I guess it's why some people grow to be 7, 8 foot tall almost.
Yeah. Well, I was going to make a comment about, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago, I killed a really nice velvet 8-point the day before Thanksgiving. Full velvet.
Yep.
And when I got to him, he had kind of a sweet smell to him, but he didn't have he didn't have any of his man products.
Right.
Let's just say that. So I got
so it had a little perfume on.
Well, he was odd, but I called the game warden and we met, and he said, "Hey, you're just 1 in 100,000. It just happens."
Yeah.
He said it's just one of those things. Nature it just happens. He didn't tear him off of the fence. He was just kind of genetic thing.
Yeah. All right. Here's one from Bruce Phillips. Bruce won the Tennessee Outside Call. Will Carroll County have a muzzleloader season this year? I'm not sure on that. The commission will vote, probably finalize that, probably the end of May, 1st of June. We was thinking they was going to put all of West Tennessee like in like the CWD zone, but maybe call it something else. But
Carroll County's not in it.
The Carroll County is Gibson was, but Carroll wasn't in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well, their normal muzzleloader should have fallen in just like the rest.
Yeah, well, it did last year, but I'm going to say it's going to this year because I don't think they're going to change that.
Okay.
And the reason that they thought about doing it was because that way the transportation ban is what's getting a lot of people, because it's only one county that's not either positive or high risk. That's Benton. Everything else is high risk or positive. But so Bruce, I don't know on that, but the commission, they're going to vote on that, and I heard they was going to look at a lot of different things for turkey season next year, because TWRA has caught a lot of flack over turkey season opening up late, which TWRA didn't have nothing to do with it. It was a commission that voted on that. That's how it works. So I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a lot of people asking me about crappie fishing, because anybody knows me, I mean, that's my favorite thing to do. But if you're going to fish, I fish a lot of the state lakes, a lot of state park lakes. I mean, they're good places to fish if you know where to go and how to catch them.
Right.
I mean, that's the knack of anywhere. But, you got to make sure you have a permit. And, you can get a daily permit for the state lakes for $6 a day, or you can buy an annual permit for $48. But if you got a sportsman's or a lifetime, you don't have to buy one.
Yeah.
And really, that's the best way to go.
That's right.
I mean, I'm glad I got my lifetime, but but people ask me, said, about it's made it pretty good. There is a lot of lakes that there is no size limit nor creel limit on crappie. It's more this year than it's ever been. So what that means, you go to fish them lakes. If you want to store 1,000 crappie, it's no possession limit.
Right.
Because if there's no creel limit, what can be caught, that means there's no possession limit.
Right.
I talked to a judge about that, but just some of the lakes where a lot of people fish, where there is no size or creel limit: Fall Creek Falls Lake, Acorn Lake, and Woodhaven Lake on Montgomery Bells State Park, Big Hill Pond right down here in McNair County. It's also known as Travis McNatt Lake, and Pin Oak Lake up at Natchez Trace, which is one of my honey holes. That's my best crankbait honey hole right there. Now, state park lakes that have no creel or size limit is Browns Creek Lake, which is right up there also. Carroll Lake, the new Carroll Lake, the one that the dam busted and it's back open. Herb Parsons Lake, Lake Halford, which is also the 1,000-acre lake, and Maples Creek Lake, and right here in Wyville, Tennessee. There is no size limit nor number limit on those. And Wyville Lake, too, they've changed it from the bass. There's no limit on bass. If it's under, I think it's 18 inches, something like that.
I've only fished Wyville Lake twice ever.
Yeah.
Do you ever go?
I haven't been. I used to, yes. In 1987, Mark Foote and I caught over 10,000 crappie out of that lake.
Goodness gracious.
Sure did.
And now there's none left.
Yeah, it is too. It is too, for sure. But anyway, you can, that's just some of the lakes. But your fishing guides are out. I mean, I guess they're probably at Walmarts and stuff. I know this was mailed to me. I guess because I got a lifetime license. I didn't even realize it was mailed until I saw that. But Walmart normally carries them. Of course, I got the big version of it right here too.
Yes.
But I highly suggest going to get one because things have changed so much with these Bill Nance signature lakes. Some of the rules and stuff on them.
Right.
And so you really probably ought to go get one. Hey, I just want to run down the turkey youth hunt numbers for this year, which was just unreal. Last year during the youth hunt, it was 1,186 kill. This year, 2,190, up 84%, up 1,004 birds. The adult birds, 1,472. Last year, 811, up 82%. And the jakes, I mean, it was 712 kill this year, 363, up 96%. And the bearded hens, 11 last year, 25 this year, up 127%.
That is unreal.
And the top 10 counties, just for the youth hunt, is Carroll County at 38, up 13 from last year. Wilson County, where my buddy Brandon lives, because I know his daughter, Emery Dowdy, she killed a good bird hunting with my buddy Brandon Haley. They had 41, up 18. Weakley County come in at number 8, 42, up 15. Robertson County, 43, up 15. Sumner County, 49, up 26. Number 5, Hickman County, 50, up 20. Montgomery County, 56, up 25. Dixon County, number 3, 58, up 13. And I'm telling you, Maury and Greene County, man, y'all smoked them. Maury County is at 83. Last year, 70, up 13. And Greene County leading the way, 84 killed this weekend. Last year, 51, up 33. So I'm telling you, hey, the youngsters had a good weekend.
I love seeing that too. I do have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
For Mr. Bill Ramsey. So he asked if it's possible to plant a deer food plot in very rocky soil with no topsoil. Mr. Bill, I think you and I may have spoken a few times, but yes, sir, there are some seeds that are pretty easy to grow. I mean, you do have some throw and grow stuff. I'm not a huge fan of just your straight throw and grow. If you have a 4-wheeler with a little drag hair, run it through there, throw out some clover, some chicory, throw some fertilizer on it, you're going to be fine. It's going to grow. Now, it's not going to grow as well as us being able to drill it in or get
because it's not going to get deep enough.
It's not going to get deep enough, but you will get your clover's going to do real well. It's going to get a pretty decent stand. Yeah. But the chicory will also take in that.
And you could probably just throw wheat and it'll stay green. It might not grow real tall, but it'll come up green and give you something to eat.
That's right. So, Mr. Bill, send me a picture. Let me get a picture of your fields, and we'll come up with a plan.
What you got, Jackson?
Oh, I get out of the camera here. I'm sorry, Mr. Bill. If you don't mind, get me a couple pictures and send them to me. Let me look at them, and we'll get together. And we'll get you something on there. We'll get it growing for you.
Okay. Let me see. What happened to the Deception Outdoors on YouTube? I'm not sure it was still on there because we watched it over at Janet's house the other day.
I don't know.
Yeah, now what you may be wondering about it too is, the new shows that was on the Hunt Channel.
That's right.
They've all been run, and so right now we're in the process of getting the ones
refilming.
But I mean, these are 30-minute shows that's coming on. I mean, because they're already taking sponsors, and I mean, I'm looking forward to that.
I am too, and I am going to need your help big time because he's wanting some food plot stuff. What I need to do is I just need some help filming some footage on some food plots and things like that because they're wanting a good episode on that also.
Right.
So I'm gonna have some. That's just too impossible to do.
Yeah. No.
On my own.
That's cool. That's cool. Because I know we got a lot of hunts planned. I don't want to put a number on how many turkey hunts I hope we get filmed, but
Yeah.
Our
I'm hoping I'm a
expectation
woman.
is pretty high. And then I know we got a Lake Michigan trip. Myself, C-Jack, and Courtney going up and fish with the Fishing Magician on Lake Michigan, and specialize in salmon and steelheads.
Yeah.
And Mr. Jimmy Sullivan going up there, and I'm looking forward to that. I had never fished for salmon or steelheads like that.
That'd be a lot of fun to get to go on.
Of course, Lake Michigan is big, so I don't know. Courtney works in the medical field. She said she would get us a bunch of the seasickness stuff because C-Jack said, "Man, I'll be throwing up," you know.
Right.
And I may be too. I don't know.
We'll get him to moderate or whatever you call it when we film the food plot stuff. We'll let C-Jack get in there and talk a little bit. You think that'll happen?
I don't know.
I
doubt
think it won't.
Yeah, I kind of doubt it. I know how C-Jack is on that. But I know that's what happened on the YouTube stuff. I mean, the shows are over for right now, but we are in the process of filming the ones. I think we're going to do 27 shows.
That's right. Starting
the last week of June, and they'll be 30-minute shows. I don't know what day or time slot. I think Paris may have told us, but I can't remember what it was.
I want to say we're going to have a 7 o'clock prime time, 7 o'clock Monday night show for sure.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and then we're going to have. I think we're going to run 3 shows. The same show's going to run 3 or 4 times that week. But the first airing, I believe, is a 7 o'clock primetime Monday night.
Okay.
So I believe I'm right on that.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
I am too. I got to get busy and try to make it out there and home.
Well, I know we got 2 crappie shows already that's in queue. Paris just got to get them edited. That's with Lonnie Hodge and Jesse Brooks. And Lonnie, you know Lonnie, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I've known him, man, since we were kids. We've been buddies since we were kids.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff on that. Keith, what else you got? I mean, you said you're going to get food plot corn. You want it in by what, June 15th?
Yeah, middle of June. I mean, the middle of June's fine. That's fine. That's plenty of time for that. Right now, we need to concentrate on getting our, sunflowers needs going in. And the reason for that is I don't mind, as long as my heads get mature, I don't mind the last couple weeks before season going in there and spraying. I don't mind. Some people don't like that, so I like to try to get it in, by the end of April, all of that in.
I got you.
But it's a pretty quick process. Now that I'm getting everything sprayed, it's just simply a matter of going in there, dropping my drill and planting it.
Well, I had a guy to just text me about, do you supply seed, or they got to get their own seed? And I know what the answer is, but
either or. I do Clearfield. That is my seed of choice because it is the only seed that I know of that you can actually spray. It's called Beyond. If it tries to weed up on you a little bit, you can actually spray it with that. They don't make a Roundup Ready sunflower. Unfortunately, they don't. They did, man. That's the thing about sunflower. It's not the easiest in the world. It's easy to grow. It's just harder to keep the weeds under control.
Because then the weed starts competing with it.
That's right. So, if he's going to buy his own seed, if he wants to do something like that, Clearfield seed, and that's not a plug for them. It's just a fact. That's the only thing.
What about the corn seed? I know a lot of people like what we always did is get it from NWTF.
That's fine. I get mine from Jackson over at R&J. That's just, and that's not a plug for them either, but Miss Ginger over there, she probably knows more about, matter of fact, I know she knows more about seed and when to plant and how to plant and what to do than any.
I mean, is the price comparable to that, to the Turkey Federation corn?
It is, yeah. You're going to be within a few dollars anywhere you go. I've got another guy out of Trenton. He's a supplier, and he's the one I'm getting all my beans from. I do all real world beans, and so you guys out there that are looking into planting your own beans, the real world beans, which you've seen them, a harvest bean. I mean a forage bean. They can get 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Don't space them out as far. That's the only thing that's the only trick. There's no other trick to it. Just don't space them at 30 inches. Keep them at 15.
What if you don't have that and you just got a plot and you want to broadcast them? Well, they can really get tall then.
They can really get tall. Broadcast them a little thick. That'll help that.
Yeah.
The more you get in there, once you get that canopy, they're going to slow down a lot. And just like we talked about the pre-show, if they get too tall, and look, the more bean you have out there, the better, of course. If they get too tall, you can't see in them. simply go out there and cut you some lanes.
Yeah. And when you
It's
cut your
that
lanes,
simple.
best way to do is get out away from your deer stand,
Yeah.
and you ride that bush hog, and
all
hopefully you
in.
can see your deer stand, and you drive right to it, and then you scoot over, and so really you kind of got a fan look to it.
You're
You know,
just about. All we're doing is we're just basically making them do what we want them to do.
that's right.
They're going to take the path of least resistance. We all know that. Let's give it to them, and let's give it to them in a big old bean crop.
And you know, a lot of people, they might not think this, but yeah, a turkey will go through the thickest stuff you ever seen, but they'll take that path of least resistance too.
Oh yeah, and especially if you can with the deer, because I'm more of a deer guy. You know, a buck loves to have a quick escape, and when you've got those tall beans,
Oh yeah,
they can just bounce right in there and just about disappear as quick as you saw them
well,
if they need to.
the thing about deer in those lanes like that, because when I always plant corn, you know, they may be cautious as a deer always is, but once he gets inside that lane,
Yep.
they won't look up for 15 minutes.
Heads down, feeding as hard as they can feed.
That's and I don't care how big an old
That's
buck
right.
it is.
That's right. They're going to feed as hard as they can feed.
But then as soon as he gets out of that lane and back to, if he had to come across some open ground, he's just as cautious as he ever was.
It's just like you can see him relax and you can see him just get tense as he can be.
Yep.
On the way out.
It sure is. It sure is. Hey, I know people, I was trying to get hold of my buddy Peanut Quan to come. I was going to get him to come on here tonight. But, I mean, the fishing, Janet and I got a cousin that's been going to, Greg Treese, going to Tennessee River just about every day. And he is wearing the white bass out from the bank.
My son and I are talking about going up there ourselves.
Yeah, I know a lady I work with, Nina Moss, out here at the Ford place. She was off yesterday, and she was sending me pictures of white bass they was catching.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, see, I sold my fishing boat. I have a pontoon. Hey, it floats. I fish out of it.
Yeah.
We're going fishing. As soon as I can, we're going to try to go.
Well, you got to go turkey hunt first.
I know it. I've got if I can ever get these plots done, and it's come Friday, I'm gonna be caught up. So
Are you?
yeah, I'll be caught up as of Friday.
All right. Hey, you was talking about the corn. Like, what do you pay an average bag of corn?
Ooh, I don't have my new price list for this year. I want to say last year. I can tell you on sunflower. Because I got to go all the way around the block through my head. Sunflower's $270 a bag, and that will do 9 acres. Corn. Oh, I don't want to lie to you. I want to say it's a 50-pound bag. It's $100. Does that sound right?
I don't. Normally we get it for about 60.
Okay.
Through the NWTN.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it'll depend on the planter. It'll do about 3 acres.
Yeah.
And it depend on what Some kind of corn will do about 2.5. Some will do 3.
That's right. I don't. That's the one thing that's not on the new price list is the corn. I don't have the corn on the new price list.
And that's Roundup ready corn.
And that's Roundup ready corn. And I don't have some of the latter fall blends on the price list just either because they hadn't ordered them.
Yep.
There's no need to order them now, so they don't add them to the price list until it's just closer to time.
Right.
So I apologize for it. I'll know that answer next week. I promise you.
Well, I know we always go down because normally, we got several $1,000s worth, and Bubba and I, we always go down to Seeds Incorporated. Of course, get the mix that we get.
That's right. That's the same mix that they use on President's Island too, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's where we get all of our daikon, the honest wheat, the crimson clover, arrowleaf clover, and the balanza clover, and I mean, it's unreal. I hate to say it. Called a place, I won't name the business, but they wanted $150 for just a 50-pound bag of arrowleaf, and I thought, man, we go down there and get it for $68.
Yeah, no, it's about.
And then when you're buying 10 bags of it, I mean.
But everything's gone up. You got to watch. You could get food plots could start getting expensive if you're not careful. But if you do them, and when I say do them right, I'm going to try to do mine. If I'm going to touch yours, it's going to be like mine.
And that's what we do too. And because if you want the critters to come out in it, you can't just. Halfway do it.
I post pictures of mine all through the growing season and all through deer season, and I don't want the guys or gals that I've done a food plot. I don't want theirs to look any less than mine.
Right.
So I do everything I can to make them as nice as I can.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Man, I've got so many people sending me messages right here, and some of them I can't get. I can't get loaded.
It's from Jeremy McCartney. It's a video of door prizes for the Freddie McCartney Memorial Hunt.
Yes, and
the video is all the. It's just.
Yeah, the Freddie McCartney Memorial Hunt's going to happen this Saturday. You still have till Friday to sign up. I think it's going to be at Skullbone. They're going to serve food and everything, like I think between 12 and 1 o'clock. And it's a turkey contest. So, you know, Freddie was a faithful viewer of ours. He won I think second, fourth spot on the Apex Turkey Challenge last year.
Wow. He's from here in Hardin County, right?
No, he was from up around Gibson County,
okay.
I believe.
You may have said that, and I was reading something.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep, sure was. And Freddie passed away, and well, I hated. I mean, because I got to meet him up there. We took pictures with him with Apex, and then went over because he was using Parrish's last call.
Yeah.
And so he went over and took pictures in the deception booth too.
That's great.
At Tennessee Outdoor Rendezvous.
One more question.
All right, go ahead, Janet.
Where's the best place to get a soil sample done?
The best place? I don't know if you can see it or not. Look, you can do a soil sample. If you want to get a true soil sample done, not a true soil sample, you can get a soil sample done by taking it to your local ag department. They'll give you a bag for it. This right here, at the end of the day, is all you need. There's a chart. It's very simple. There's a chart that I have in my hand. It's full. It's kind of like if you've ever had to test a pool, because really what we're looking for is pH. Okay. Once we get the closer to 7, we get that pH, the better we are. And then all the products now.
Is that like a home quick test?
That is.
So you don't have to send that off or nothing?
I don't have to send that off. It takes me about 25 minutes. That has to go in distilled water for about 25 minutes before I can run a test on it. But it's going to get, and this is very accurate. I have done so much research on the Antler King pH test.
So would that tell you how much you need to put on what, Keith?
No, well, what it'll do is what this is only looking for is your pH. So yes, it's going to explain to you how much lime you need to go back to a neutral soil. But now all your seed companies have gotten really good at narrowing down what you need as far as fertilizer. And that kind of goes back to, because if you're going to do a soil sample test, go to 5 inches. Don't touch anything. Don't put anything in a bag above 5 inches. Get to that 5-inch mark. And that's why I only do these, because of the study that I watched the farmer out of Arkansas do. I know we're about to run out of time, but so many people get tricked because they only go to that 1 or 2. They just kind of get those first few inches scoop, and everything looks great there.
Yeah.
We want to get deeper, 4 or 5 inches. 5 inches is optimal. If you have an acre, try to get about 6 different places.
That was what I was just fixing to ask you. How many spots per acre do you kind of want to get?
I do 6 spots per acre, and I can tell you that I don't know how many of these I go through, and I'll have very, very little difference. It seems like that acre is there's going to be very little difference in all my 6 spots.
Yeah.
Either it's good or it's bad.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
Jimmy McGee.
Mr. Jimmy? Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Jimmy. I got you, buddy.
all right. All right, Keith, you got anything else?
That is it.
Janet, you got anything over there?
That's it.
All right, that's going to wrap it up, folks. So still want to give another shout out to the youngsters and Tennessee turkey hunters, because I'm going to tell you, it's pretty impressive to see what they did. I'm not going to lie.
I wish I could have been there to see Tucker.
Well, I mean, I wish I could have been on a lot of them, because, I mean, you can tell. And I enjoy those people posting the videos of them, because, I mean, it's. I wish there was video cameras back when I first started hunting.
Oh man, my son just acted.
Of course, I'm glad it wasn't cell phones back in them days.
Well, you're right. But
We'd probably all be in prison, everybody our age, especially at Randy Walls.
I have to meet Randy.
Oh yeah, well, because I know how Randy is. But hey, it's gonna wrap it up. We appreciate y'all tuning in tonight, and y'all, all of our viewers, sponsors, and especially all these Facebook groups that let us share our show to the page.
Absolutely.
And then still a big shout out to Tennessee Deer Hunters being back online now. I mean, that literally made my day.
Yeah, Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it
great.
did.
And keep once again keep the families from the last week's tornadoes in your prayers. And there's a lot of cleanup left to do. A lot of people have lost everything, and
Yeah, we just found out yesterday one of our friends.
yeah,
lost.
so it was devastating. So you know, if you can reach out, if you can do nothing other than just say a prayer for them, that'd be appreciated.
Yep. All right, we'll see y'all here next week. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.